Lee Simon, our speaker today, taught American history and government for 23 years at the high school level. He is so old that he grew up in the Nazi era and through World War II. He brings his academic and life experience to this topic. This is not a happy topic, but these are not happy times. He will leave it to you to decide how bad is our present situation. Very upbeatly.
Good morning. Remember Winston? Remember Big Brother from 1984? Or the pig Napoleon from Animal Farm? Let's revisit those two books. I'm confident that you remember things about them, but it's probably been a long time since you read those books. And the author, pen name George Orwell, was born in 1903. He grew up in England. He died in 1950. He published Animal Farm in 1945, a satire about Stalin and Trotsky. 1984 was published in 1949, and it has since sold 30 million copies. As literature, it's fascinating. As political social structure, it's scary. So let's go to Oceania, the setting for 1984. But be careful, because Big Brother is watching you all the time. Your television is not one-way TV. It's two-way, and it sees you all the time, and it's always on. There's no such thing as privacy. Forget it. There is total surveillance, not just of your physical self, also of your thoughts, your emotions, your facial expressions, your tone of voice. It is total totalitarianism. Orwell said, "The object of power is power. The object of power is power. Power for its own sake." People can and do become addicted to power. The party demands total loyalty to the party. Orwell said, "The further a society drifts from the truth, the more it will hate those who speak it." In 1984, friends and neighbors, even lovers, spy on each other and report any deviance from total loyalty to Big Brother. It is folly to trust. Betrayal was the norm. 1984 is called a dystopian society where people lead dehumanized lives, pressured and propagandized to conform and obey. There was a name for those who did not obey. Those were those who had been made to disappear. They were called unpersons. One way of getting everyone to buy into it was via groupthink. It became almost impossible to have an individual thought. Another technique used by Big Brother, the authoritarian leader, was to use what Orwell called doublethink. It means reversing the facts. There were three main slogans constantly drummed into the minds of the people. The first one was, "War is peace." Big Brother changed enemies at will. Oceania was constantly, perpetually at war via the Ministry of Peace. This was secured via the daily 2 minutes of hate. An object of hate was supplied, and everyone would hate as directed. There was also Hate Week, and if you did not participate, you would be arrested and tortured. To further ensure absolute conformity, they banned books. Any hint of disagreement with the regime was not tolerated. It goes even deeper in the form of newspeak. This made it impossible to think or speak any heretical thoughts. There was no language for them. The second slogan was, "Freedom is slavery." The total control of your life kept you from being enslaved by freedom. The third slogan was, "Ignorance is strength." Everyone was miseducated to be ignorant. There was only one truth, that which came from the ministry of truth, set up to reinforce the three slogans. To enforce law and order on Big Brother's terms was the job of the ministry of love. The organization's aim to promote total celibacy via the Anti-Sex League highlights the party's desire to direct all emotional energies toward loyalty to Big Brother and the state, undermining all personal connections and desires. All children were to be begotten by artificial insemination, ARTSEM, as it was called in Newspeak, and brought up in public institutions. Now let us and our visit to 1984 end and turn our attention to Animal Farm. If you recall, Animal Farm was banned in the Soviet Union. The book accurately characterized the regime, and the Soviet leaders couldn't handle it. Because the elite class, the oligarch pigs on Animal Farm, controlled the dissemination of information, the elite class is able to hide the terrible truth of its exploitation of the other animals. There were 7 commandments that all animals on the farm had to obey. 1, whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. 2, whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wings is a friend. 3, no animal shall wear clothes. 4, no animal shall sleep in a bed. 5, no animal shall drink alcohol. 6, no animal shall kill any other animal. 7, all animals are equal. These 7 commandments were inscribed on the barn wall. They formed an unalterable law of animalism, by which all the animals on Animal Farm must live forever after. Are we now entering? Oh, hold on. It came to pass that eventually those 7 commandments were distilled into one slogan: 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. Years pass on Animal Farm, and the ruling pigs act more and more like human beings, walking upright, carrying whips, wearing clothes. When it became clear to Napoleon that some change was needed to the 7 commandments, as the pigs moved more and more into emulation of the humans they had overthrown, they needed to justify their new behavior to all the other animals. Eventually, the 7 principles of animalism, known as the 7 commandments and inscribed on the side of the barn, became reduced to a single principle, reading, quote, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. These are the original 7 commandments as secretly revised by the pigs. Number 4, no animal shall sleep in a bed with sheets. 5, no animal shall drink alcohol to excess. 6, no animal shall kill any other animal without cause. 7, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. So they, the pigs, had secretly revised the commandments to clear themselves of being lawbreakers. This was because the pigs had taken to sleeping on beds, to drinking alcohol, and to killing other animals. To me, this evidenced the symbiotic relationship between 1984 and Animal Farm, the totalitarianism of 1984 and the authoritarian nature of the pigs on Animal Farm. Are we now entering a period when the Constitution and Bill of Rights will be trashed? It would be a mistake for us to project our own rationality onto the MAGA movement. In the last 10 years, we've had fascists marching in the streets, Hitler's words spoken on our airwaves, and fascist policies in the Project 2025 plan. Is artificial intelligence going to result in more surveillance and social control? Mass surveillance is already outdoors in our cities, already ever present. Will it become indoors too? Hey, we're not spying on you, we're protecting you. So how is it possible that 1984 and Animal Farm can be happening here now? How did this happen? Some pundits say it's because Garland failed to prosecute Trump, or because the Supreme Court gave Trump immunity, or Biden didn't get out sooner, or identity politics didn't work, or global post-COVID inflation, or failure to enlist the working class, or AI voter suppression, or lower voter turnout, or gerrymandering, or many Muslims and Latinos voted for Trump, or misogyny and racism, or high food and gas prices, or all of the above. Yet all of the excuses, the explanations, the analyses don't really satisfy. They ignore the lessons of 1984 and Animal Farm. Here's an excerpt from a recent issue of Mother Jones magazine. Mr. Smith, please come in, have a seat. Our records show you've been with the State Department for 17 years, the past 5 in the Bureau of National Security and Non-Proliferation. Now it has come to our attention through an anonymous tip to the America First compliance program that you made a derogatory comment about the president. A subsequent internal investigation discovered that your wife donated $125 to Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign. Through further inquiry, with the assistance of the Trump X social media team, we located a deleted post from your daughter's timeline that indicated a photograph of your daughter and your wife knocking on doors in West Philadelphia for Kamala Harris. Under the new and loyal Americans in Government executive order, we are terminating your employment as of the moment. As you might know, Mr. Smith, your position has been reclassified and no longer enjoys the civil service protections of the past. There's no right of appeal. My secretary will provide you the separation paperwork. You may leave now. That's the end of the excerpt. So will this kind of stuff happen here next month, next year? These days, the lunatics are running the asylum. The lunatics are running the asylum. Big Brother, he of the orange hair, will go as far as he can, as far as the people allow him to go, for as long as the people allow him to. Orwell thought that the other animals will allow themselves to be totally controlled, that the sheep will follow the pigs forever. Now let us turn to the situation we face today. It's not my intention to foster any fear in anyone, including myself. I wish only to offer some observations in no particular order of gravity. Each of us will process differently, and that is as it should be. This is not a happy topic, but these are not happy times. Observation number one: the forces of authoritarianism, totalitarianism, and fascism have arrived. Not yet in full power, but significantly enough to provide a picture of our country's future. There is no reason to believe that they will, out of concern for the common good, decrease the intensity of their efforts to bring 1984 and Animal Farm into full being. Observation 2. Reality is up for grabs. Not for everyone, but definitely in the minds of a slim majority of our citizens. It started with alternative facts, then it morphed into alternative reality. Now, no more fact checks. It's the death of truth. They are trapped inside a delusionary bubble. No amount of evidence, no truck full of facts will change their minds. We believe what we choose to believe. Carl Sagan said, quote, "You can't convince a believer of anything, for their belief is not based on evidence. It's based on a deep-seated need to believe." Number 3, in Russia, the oligarchs side with Putin. They have become extremely wealthy for doing so. In America, the oligarchs side with Trump in a hope of becoming even more wealthy. Power flows down from above, and money flows up. After all, isn't oligarchy all about money? And there's never enough money. Never. Observation 4. Courts. Our court system is based on a hierarchy, from lower to upper courts, with the top court being supreme. The GOP has already captured the Supreme Court, as recent decisions have laid bare their total partisanship. Number 5, there is no justice if the convicted criminals are set free. The power to pardon rests on fairness, not on a lame excuse of the crime not being a crime, as was the January 6th insurrection. It was not a so-called tourist visit. To pardon and set free the January 6th insurrectionists is to invite more crime, not justice. Number 6, corruption is the name of the game for the head oligarch and all the other oligarchs. It's built into oligarchy. It is the reason for it in the first place. They say they plan to replace the US dollar with crypto money. Hallelujah. Number 7, no abortion, no contraceptives, no in vitro, no gay sex, no premarital sex. All of those become illegal. It's tyranny by the fanatical religious minority. Their God, who they say creates everything, creates all those things. And then he bans them. What an absurd contradiction. It's the 1984 Anti-Sex League here and now. Observation 8. Our Constitution and judicial system are, in the minds of most Americans, sacred. The rule of law is the foundation of our democracy. What has happened is simple. The MAGA people are using the system to destroy the system. They are using the system to destroy the system and dismantle the administrative state that supports it. Number 9, our election system has been expanded over the centuries via amendment to the Constitution. That's good. More people get to vote. The Democrats are now planning on how to regain the House and Senate in the 2026 midterm elections. That assumes there will be any midterm elections, which today is a risky assumption. The incoming president has stated publicly that voting will not be necessary from now on. Lastly, number 10. The forces of darkness not only planned for it, they unabashedly published it publicly, with no shame at all, in such detail that it took 900 pages to state exactly how to destroy our system of government. Project 2025, if and when implemented, will not be a surprise. It will be a guideline and a playbook. They are drunk on power. The rewriting of history, just as in 1984, has already begun. Who controls the past controls the future, and who controls the present controls the past. Remember the GOP saying that slavery was good? It gave the slaves job training. Hallelujah. We might as well have the racist slogan on our money, just as the pigs put their slogan real big on the wall of the barn. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. Here's a suggestion. White skin good, colored skin bad. Think about it. The racists put out that message all the time. White skin good, colored skin bad. They just don't have a slogan yet. Do I think that they're that crazy to be doing all those racist things? I don't know if they're crazy, but I know that they're obsessed with their whiteness. None of us knows how bad it's going to get. Nobody knows today how fast it will come. Nobody knows how capable they will be to pull it all off. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. And remember, hope is not a strategy. We are at the end of the transition period, the calm before the storm. The calm has not been all that calm, has it? Is annexing Canada or Greenland calm? The Democratic Party campaign played by the rules, played the traditional game of politics as usual. The Republican Party played a totally different game, with no respect for the rules, the norms, truth, or ethics. And they won. And they won. Are we to conclude that nice guys are doomed to lose? Who knows? Who knows what might trigger a people's revolt in whatever form to resist 1984 and Animal Farm. But we must remember that in 1933, the Nazi Party won elections and voted Hitler in as Chancellor of Germany. 12 years later, he was defeated, but not by an election, but by the most overwhelming armed force in human history. Is that what it's going to take? Is there no other way? Some say the system will hold. It's cracking, they say, but it will hold. 1984 and Animal Farm, are we there yet? If not, how close are we? What do you think? Thank you.